Hey, what's up, functional bodybuilders? I'm talking about the dumbbell overhead walking lunge today, specifically the single arm dumbbell overhead walking lunge. Now, this exercise starts with one arm overhead, and then we're walking forward. What I love about this drill is that since we're doing a single arm overhead load, you're gonna be getting what we call, sorry for the big words, but ipsilateral, contralateral loading of the lower body. So I got the right arm up, I go left leg, that's contralateral load, and then right leg, same side, ipsilateral loading. Why is that even important? Well, it's just a way for you to train where you're gonna have to adapt your body and you're gonna feel different positions. It's a great way that we approach unilateral training in functional bodybuilding is we're doing single leg training, but the load is kind of offset to one side. Great core work, great rotational strength, all of the above. When you switch to the other arm, then you're gonna get the same training stimulus just on the opposite legs now. One thing that's going on here with this exercise is that we have to hold this dumbbell directly over our shoulder. And this mobility position, or this shoulder position where the arm is the shoulder's fully flexed overhead, that's not accessible to everybody. Arm, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, all in alignment. You know, a lot of people have this range of motion, which doesn't really set you up for a great dumbbell overhead walking lunge. If that's the case, what can end up happening is that people will start to really arch their back as they do this exercise in order to get that shoulder right underneath the dumbbell. And that can clearly lead to some problems in terms of low back arching, which isn't optimal mechanics. And if you're trying to push really heavy weight on that, you might find it doesn't quite feel good. So 2 ways that we can combat that. Number 1, if you don't have that position fully, then keep your loads moderate and light. This is gonna be a great exercise whether you got 50 pounds overhead or 25 pounds overhead. Make a very, very conscious decision. It's like, if you're gonna load it heavy, know the positions of your body, don't overextend your low back. Number 2, if you want to regress, doing a single arm rack position is going to give you that same ipsilateral, contralateral loading stimulus on your lower body. That's a great way to regress. Is the overhead position going to be more demanding? Sure, because it's going to require more stability. But if you don't have that yet, don't push it if you want to lift the heavier weight. Now, the last thing we can talk about is right over here. I want to give you a mobility drill to perhaps improve that position. This one is called the anterior line stretch. It shows up in a variety of our persist recover protocols, the stretches that we have at the end of your training. It's also something that we have prescribed a lot, even in warm-ups. And as you can see, I am getting my arm into this overhead position, this shoulder flexion position. I am getting a great stretch all throughout my lat, throughout the front of my rib cage, even into my hip flexor. And by opening this up for maybe just 60 to 90 seconds before I do some dumbbell overhead walking lunges, I might get that extra 2 to 5 degrees of range of motion. That's gonna put me in a best position for actually doing this exercise safely at a slightly heavier load. So use the anterior line stretch if you wanna actually improve your position for this, or regress it down to a single arm front rack dumbbell walking lunge. I hope that helps. We'll catch you next time.